What's going on, baby? Slick Kackis here. Thank you so much for stopping by, and today we are going to be taking a look at some incredibly powerful primary weapons for PvE in Destiny 2. These are things that you can incorporate into your loadouts right now if you want to, but you really want to be paying attention to these weapons when the Recluse SMG gets nerfed. This was recently announced, and this is very important because right now the Recluse is completely taking over the PvE meta. I mean, this is the current usage chart for PvE, and as you can see, all the other weapons are pretty close and going down by a reasonable amount. But, I mean, compared to the Recluse, it's so unbelievably dominant in terms of its usage, overall kills, etc. So let's take a quick look at the Recluse. It has a unique pinnacle perk, Master of Arms. Kills with any weapon improve this weapon's damage for a short time. Now, when we look at the nerf, essentially what's going on is that when you activate Master of Arms, you're going to get a precision damage bonus even if you are shooting the foot, if you're shooting a non-precision area. That's going to be taken away with this nerf, so if you want to match the damage output of the Recluse right now, you're going to need to get all headshots. Now, on something like console, where there's this thing called recoil, and for PC players, it's that thing that actually requires skill to use guns. I'm kidding, I'm playing, don't go down to the comments, that's a joke. But seriously, the Recluse does have a lot more recoil on console, so having to hit all headshots now, I think really console players should be looking at some alternatives once it is nerfed. And because it's just outright worse, if you're looking for something to replace it, well, again, that's the purpose of this video. So let's look at those alternatives. Now, first and foremost, in terms of some exotic options, we have the Riskrunner exotic SMG. This thing is actually pretty incredible, and it actually has a really high usage rate now, especially because an exotic quest was introduced, so you can do it and for sure get this weapon. You don't have to rely on RNG. So the intrinsic perk is Arc Conductor. When taking arc damage, this weapon becomes more powerful and resists incoming arc damage. Kills extend the time in this overcharged state. That's combined with another unique perk, Superconductor. When Arc Conductor is active, shots fired have the chance to become chain lightning and return ammo. So there's no doubt about it, when Arc Conductor and Superconductor are active, this thing is way more powerful than the Recluse. Like, you are going to be blowing the Recluse away in terms of sheer output and ad clearing potential because you have infinite ammo, like it's just consistently regenerating ammo non-stop. You will never have to reload as long as you're in this state, and you're going to be getting a little bit of a damage bonus, and you're going to be chaining lightning to multiple enemies. So by the time you move from one enemy and start engaging another enemy, that other enemy is already going to be weak. Like, the Riskrunner is truly absurd, not to mention it's pretty nice to get a 50% damage reduction when, for example, a Hive Wizard is shooting you, and those can do quite a lot of damage. Now, the only thing about the Riskrunner is that you have to be hit with arc damage. So it really depends on the enemy types you're facing. But if you're facing stuff like, right now, the Hive, a lot of them do arc, and so you can really make the most of the Riskrunner. Moving on from there, another fantastic exotic option that I went over in somewhat of a previous video is the Bad Juju. This has the intrinsic perk String of Curses. Kills refill the magazine, similar to the Riskrunner, and increase damage for a short duration, and grant super energy based on the strength of String of Curses. So basically, you have a fully automatic pulse rifle with kind of rampage and or swashbuckler because it does more damage for each kill, and with a way better version of subsistence because you get ammo back on every kill. Oh, and it gives you way more super regeneration. Getting kills with the Bad Juju is going to give you more than double the super regeneration of getting kills with a normal weapon. That is a lot going on for a primary weapon, like a lot. And the Bad Juju, like, whenever you use it, I think people just have forgotten just how good this thing is. And frankly, I think considering all the benefits, it's better than the Recluse, even right now, except for the fact that it's exotic. You can't use the Bad Juju and combine that with the Izanagi's Burden, for example. You can't use the Bad Juju and the Lord of Wolves or the Prospector. There's a lot of phenomenal exotic weapons, and the fact that you can only use one is kind of the main reason holding back things like the Bad Juju and the Riskrunner from seeing a lot more play. But if you're kind of off the Recluse and you're looking for a good alternative, again, this is one. But let's move on off of those exotic options and talk about some legendary alternatives. These will let you use other powerful exotics, obviously, and firstly, we got another great SMG, and that is the Subjunctive. This thing is dropping from Vex Offensive, so get it while you can before the season changes. But importantly, this just has a lot of really good perks it can spawn with. In the first category mainly, you can get Outlaw, and you can combine it with, as you can see with the role I have, multi-kill clip. Now, multi-kill clip is actually going to give you the most bang for your buck in terms of a damage bonus in PvE. Like, if you get multi-kill clip times 3, that's the best in terms of a damage bonus that you can get compared to all the other perks in a PvE environment. And in PvE, especially with a decent SMG like this, it's really not too hard to spray down 3 guys, especially because multi-kill clip will climb upon itself. So you can get multi-kill clip times 2, reload with Outlaw, use that damage bonus to get a really easy triple kill, reload again with Outlaw, and then you have times 3. So you can chain a lot of kills and you can get a lot of kills very fast with this gun. In fact, when it does have multi-kill clip times 3, it's outpacing even the Recluse. The problem is that you have to jump through a little bit more hoops to activate multi-kill clip times 3 than you do to activate a Recluse's perk, of course. But this is really a strong little option. And if you don't get multi-kill clip, other things that can spawn in that category include Swashbuckler and Rampage. Both very good as well. And I want to note, and I'm going to mention this for the other weapons as well, although I'm highlighting the Subjunctive, if you have another fantastic SMG of the same archetype with multi-kill clip and a reload increasing perk, obviously that will suffice as well. Just Subjunctive is the example I use for a really good legendary SMG. So moving on from there, let's talk about some hand cannons. Firstly, we have the Spare Rations, a legendary kinetic hand cannon. This thing is all over the place in PvP. It was the best PvP weapon in the game for quite a while, actually. But this thing is also phenomenal in PvE. It's a 150 archetype, it's got great stats, and it's got frankly unbelievably good perks for PvE as well as PvP. The role I have is a great example of this. We have Rapid Hit, rapid precision hits temporarily increase stability and reload speed to help with the reload speed that is required for the other perk, multi-kill clip. Again, just as good on the Spare Rations as you can imagine as on the Subjunctive. And the fact that this is a hand cannon that has multi-kill clip, like the only other hand cannon that has that perk right now is the Loud Lullaby from the Moon, but the Loud Lullaby is a slow shooting 110 archetype, which is way more rough to use than the Spare Rations. But the thing is, this is not the only good PvE role. If you don't get Rapid Hit, you can get Subsistence, which is excellent with this gun. You can also get 4th times the Charm, which is very good as well. In the other perk category, if you don't get multi-kill clip, you can get normal kill clip, you can get Swashbuckler, you can get Rampage. Like, all 4 of those perks are excellent on this hand cannon. And some alternatives to the Spare Rations in the kinetic slot for a hand cannon would be something like the Awstringer with Outlaw Rampage or even Subsistence Rampage. Moving on, we have the Ancient Gospel in the energy slot for a legendary hand cannon. This, similar to the Spare Rations, is just filled with incredibly powerful rolls. Now yes, this is from the new Garden of Salvation raid, so it's going to be a little bit harder to attain. If you want something easier to get, the Kindled Orchid dropping from the Forges is another great option. It has some good stuff, but seriously, the Ancient Gospel is just absurd. In the first perk category, you have Rapid Hit and Outlaw and Slide Shot, and in the second perk category, Kill Clip, Dragonfly, and Swashbuckler, and the only other option is Rangefinder. So you have a 3 out of 4 chance to get a really, really good perk for PvE. But it's not just about the perks. The really cool thing about this weapon is that its recoil direction is 100 out of 100, which means it goes vertically. And that's it. A lot of other hand cannons will slightly go to the right or to the left sometimes, and that means they're a little bit harder to control. The Ancient Gospel is incredibly beginner friendly. If you're someone who doesn't like using hand cannons generally, the Ancient Gospel may be the thing that you actually enjoy using because it is so easy to use. Now moving on from there, there's a couple of auto rifles I want to talk about, and the first one is the Ringing Nail Legendary Energy Auto Rifle. So this is here because it can get a roll that just blows most other auto rifle rolls out of the water, and that is the fact that this can get the combination of Dragonfly, precision kills, crit and elemental damage explosion, plus Rampage. Kills with this weapon temporarily increase damage, stacks up to 3 times. And as you can imagine, these two perks interact with each other very quite well. Dragonfly spreading the damage around, letting you hurt multiple enemies with, really a single shot, but frankly a single kill, and then Rampage ramping up the damage. Like, those two perks together are just insane. Unfortunately, the roll I'm using, I've just farmed this weapon a ton. I can't get Dragonfly and Rampage, but if you can, that's simply phenomenal. Frankly, the Ringing Nail is kind of the best overall of the possible 450 rounds per minute auto rifles, but there's a lot that could suffice. The new Braytech auto rifle even is a phenomenal choice. Remember, auto rifles got a pretty sizable, like 30 to 20% buff, depending on what enemies you're facing, against PvE combatants for Shadowkeep. They are definitively better against enemies than they were pre-Shadowkeep. And the 450 archetype is just generally the most beginner-friendly, great at longer and medium ranges, just an all-around great primary weapon to run. And if you do get that Ringing Nail God roll where you are just blowing everything up and stacking Rampage, almost instantly jumping up to ×3, it is going to be unbelievable at ad clearing and rivaling, if not surpassing, the Recluse, frankly, with that specific God roll. But moving on from there, the last weapon I wanted to highlight is the Reckless Oracle Legendary Energy Auto Rifle. Again, this is from the Garden of Salvation raid, but this is here because it's one of the best of the fast-firing 720 rounds per minute archetype. Now, interestingly, this is actually on this list and kind of replacing the Breakneck Pinnacle auto rifle from Gambit, because the Breakneck was actually pretty substantially nerfed with Shadowkeep. It's going to be doing less damage the faster it fires. And when the Breakneck is at its max fire rate, it's actually going to have worse DPS than the Reckless Oracle. Seriously. So why use that when you could use this? Similar to the Ancient Gospel, we have some just phenomenal perks here, mainly in that first category you're looking for Outlaw. In the second category, we have Kill Clip, Swashbuckler, even Triple Tap with a 51 round magazine is a big deal for this gun, and Demolitionist. All 4 of those perks are going to be good. Demolitionist specifically because this is actually a void weapon, so it works with the Nezarec Sin exotic Warlock helmet, which gives you your abilities back for using void damage. Well, if you have that and Demolitionist with this, you're going to be able to supercharge your grenade like all the time. So that's a really cool little combo with this gun. However, I have the roll with Outlaw plus Kill Clip, and it's phenomenal. Like, you can see just how easily this Reckless Oracle shreds through enemies, how easily you're getting double and triple kills with one magazine, and if you do get that Outlaw Kill Clip combo going, it shreds. It just kills enemies so darn fast. The damage output for these fast-firing auto rifles is significant. And it's a less common archetype, like there isn't many of these, but you should seriously try them out in Shadowkeep with those auto rifle buffs active in PvE. In any event, guys, those are some great weapons I wanted to highlight. Again, try them out right now, see which ones you actually enjoy, and then once that Recluse nerf hits, and you try the Recluse, if you're like, yeah, I can't use this thing anymore, it's way too annoying to use, I don't like it anymore, you can switch to whatever one of these you like best. I hope you enjoyed this video, found it informative, and if you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickKackis. That's linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.